Camera 2.
Okay, just clap. Okay, can you tell us your name, please?
Hi, my name's Jack Walker.
My name is Jazz Fernley.
My name is Henry Shepherd.
And can you tell us what you're doing out there?
Yes, we are going on a trip. I believe it's with Challenge Abroad and Future Sense on a global citizenship program, and we're teaching children in the schools English and media.
What are you hoping to take away from all of this?
I'm hoping to get I'm hoping to get a perspective on overall how their living situation is compared to ours, so I can get more of a respect towards other people's living situations, and obviously to get out of my comfort zone as well. It's a big adjustment, going to another country.
And what do you expect to see out there?
Beauty. Seems like a very beautiful country. Nice people. Nice food.
I expect that it's going to be very different to over here, but I don't really have too many expectations. I'm just going to go in and see what it's like and try and be in the moment.
Are you ready for this journey?
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready for the journey.
I'd say so, yeah.
As ready as I'll ever be. I've got my sunscreen ready, got all my shorts, but at the end of the day, I won't be fully prepared until I get there.
We arrived at the capital of Cambodia, Phnom Penh, and would have to take a 6-hour bus ride to our final destination, Battambang.
Get into it.
Okay.
We've just arrived at the hostel. Just did a 6-hour coach drive and just popped to the shop and just got a blueberry soda. It's quite nice. Can't wait to see what we're gonna do. Majority of the time, I'm just gonna wing it and hope for the best.
How hot is it?
It's not that bad. It's not that bad, Sam. Come on, let's face it.
How bad is it?
I feel like he's coping at this point. He's very bad. No, it's not bad.
It's not
like
bad.
40 degrees is
40 degrees.
pretty hot. Let's just say, okay?
Okay, it's a little bit.
Okay.
It's manageable though.
Yeah, you can manage, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
Over dramatic. That's all.
No, listen.
My main goal is to not get sunburned. But that probably won't last long.
You're right.
Okay, so how's your experience been on day one?
Day one, hot, unbearably hot. It's 40 degrees. However, I've had a Pepsi and I've had a Fanta, so I'm feeling semi-refreshed.
Yes.
It's hot.
It's really badly, unbearably hot. But I think we're gonna have a storm. It's a bit windy. If I use my UK knowledge, I think it's gonna rain.
It did not rain once during our time here.
Hello, my name is Sultana, and behind me is we call Damraisa Pagoda, or we can call White Elephant Pagoda.
We are currently on a city tour in Battambang. Had about 3 hours sleep. Had an iced coffee this morning. It's keeping me going a bit. We're going to a coffee shop later with air conditioning, so that'll be really nice. And yeah,
Looking forward to it.
looking forward to it.
Nice.
Ed's got a nice woolly one.
We didn't realise just how hot Cambodia was going to be, and decided that going to an air-conditioned coffee shop was a must. Luckily, we would drive there, but in style. Planning took place. Here we would decide what lessons we would teach in our own workshops. From playing fun, simple games to learning how to spell in English. But some of us were struggling with what it was to actually plan.
So my name's Johnny. I've been working here at the Future Sense Foundation for 4 months now in our Cambodia hub. My role is group mentor and project implementer, which essentially means I'm here to look after the groups. I'm sort of their first port of contact. I'm with them for their entire experience in Cambodia, managing the logistics of the program and helping with workshop planning and being there at the schools and supplementary education centres to sort of support and yeah, just be a good set of helping hands.
Okay, so can you tell us your name and what are you doing here?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Teresa, and I'm the program implementer at the Future Sense Cambodia Hub. And yeah, should I just keep on going?
Yep.
Sure. So yeah, Future Sense Cambodia is one of the second hubs to open. Future Sense started back in 2009, and then the Future Sense Cambodia hub's been running more or less since 2013. And I've been at the hub now about 2 years, come September, but feels like 2 years. And yeah, so essentially what I do and what we do is the Future Sense charity is focused on sustainable development in communities. And so they partner with a charity that is called Challenges Abroad, and they'll bring participants over. And so what we do is we're kind of the bridge, and what I do essentially is bridging programs so that our local stakeholders or the schools that we partner with in the community are able to work with the participants that come in. And those participants come in from both the UK and from Australia, and they'll do workshops, whether it's on health, education, or environment. And sometimes they'll do other initiatives in community, which could be health clinics, build a playground, which we've done as well, and then litter picking as well. So anything that the needs are expressed from the community, we know they need it, and then we'll go ahead and do it.
How's everyone feeling about our teaching at school tomorrow?
Ecstatic, I can't wait. Are you looking forward to it, Jazz?
Yeah, very stressed, but I think it'll be good once we do it.
What are you
See how it
doing?
goes. I am teaching 6 to 9-year-olds about colours and numbers. What about you?
We're gonna give them 11 to 12-year-olds, I think it is, and we're gonna teach them how to buy something in English. Simple, yeah.
Hopefully.
It's
So we're at the first day of teaching this beautiful school. It's such an amazing experience. We're all so overwhelmed but so happy we can be a part of this change. It's just the most humbling experience as well, because I've only just realised now how much we get, and how little all these children have, but they make the most of it. And it's just so beautiful to see how well they get on with each other. They make each other's days up. There's just 2 little girls just playing. It's just absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait for the rest of the teaching. Spin again.
What colour's that? Green.
Go back!
Many of us were split into smaller groups teaching children from the ages 5 to 12. The lessons were consistent on teaching English words, colours, numbers, and fruit and veg. Some kids already knew English, and others found it very difficult.
Hello, my name is Terry Boabi, and I am a group mentor and project implementer for the Future Sense Foundation. Our charity invites students from the UK and also from Australia to have the opportunity to foster themselves as a global citizen. This is in Cambodia, and we have people in the background delivering workshops for English. Not only in English, we focus on the main topics of STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. We do health, such as first aid workshops, and another one is environmental education, where we talk about how to reduce plastic waste and sustainabilities. So thank you for listening.
There we go. Good job. So guys, what does this say? Egg. How do you spell it? E. Very good. Very nice job. Why do you think someone should come to Cambodia? Kids.
Yeah, that's such a great question. I think for me, I might be a little biased, but I think my favorite thing about Cambodia is the youth. Because you'll find that because it's such a big youth population here, which is about like 64%, I think the last time I checked, they're so passionate to change the world. And when you meet youth here, you'll just really get a little bit of that. So I think when you come here, you get to get that bit of it and get their excitement to change the world, and hopefully it impacts you as well. But then on top of that, it's Cambodia. I think I have a soft spot for Cambodia, but I think coming here, you learn a lot about resilience, learning about there's so much beauty about Cambodian culture. And so I think it's almost twofold, like for yourself, but also to learn more about this country that gets often overshadowed by Thailand and Vietnam.
And she was right. As soon we would see for ourselves. Over 90% of the country's population are Buddhists. Their spiritual beliefs can be seen everywhere you look, from statues to their art. But we soon found out that this wasn't always the case. As we learnt about Cambodia's recent brutal history with the Khmer Rouge.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Khmer Rouge?
So I guess the best way to go about it is, I think the elephant in the room when you talk about countries in this part of the world is always going to be colonialism. So just like any country in this area was Indochina. So Indochina was under the French. So in 1953, with Vietnam putting pressure also with the Indochina war that they were having, Cambodia gets independence, and that's the Sihanouk regime. And so Sihanouk, he was a king. Prince Sihanouk, he was going pretty well. Everything looked good. It was called the Golden Age. And then, of course, next door, there's some stuff happening, which is the American-Vietnam War that started quietly early 60s, but really started heating up late 60s. And then how that heated up in Cambodia is there's the Ho Chi Minh Trail, where the Viet Cong was bringing supplies via the north to the south and vice versa. And the US was like, the best solution is to bomb a lot of it, and by a lot, pretty much more tonnage from World War II, all the bombs combined, and that really kind of started to destabilize the country. And then of course you have the influence of communism. So the short of it is that 1970 rolls around, country's not doing too great in terms of stability. North American Vietnam War's there. The US supports Lon Nol to kind of essentially have a bloodless coup when the king's out of the country. And the king says, I want to come back to the country. What's the best way to come back? Well, let me put my backing behind Pol Pot. He's pretty popular. Don't know what he's into, but he seems like a great guy. Except it's Pol Pot, he's into communism, and of course that kicks off that civil war. By 73, most of the country is under Pol Pot's control, and then by 75, it's only really Phnom Penh left. And so what that means is on 17 April 1975, the soldiers come in, everyone thinks like, oh, okay, it's over, the war is over, and then they're like, no, the Americans are coming, they're gonna bomb, you gotta leave now. And everyone's like, okay, that's okay, we'll leave for a few days. But what happened, of course, is you have essentially from 17 April 1975 until 7 January 1979, the genocide that ensued. I think 1 in 3 Cambodians died. And when we say 1 in 3 Cambodians, what we want to think about is you have massive infrastructure erasure. You have teachers, you have doctors. I think by the end of the war, there were maybe 50 doctors left, the last I heard. 90% of artists were killed. You just have a massive just kind of reset.
The group visited the killing caves. This is where the Khmer Rouge would take their victims to torture and would end up leaving them there to die.
Yeah, it's quite something. Like, all of them are actual human skulls, and we've all went through quite a lot. I don't know if you got any of the recordings up top, but like the statues of like all the methods of torture really is, it's quite horrific. And just imagine being thrown down here and just being tortured and just being left to bleed out. It must have been horrific.
I've enjoyed this place and looking around the temples and stuff, but with the killing caves, I mean, you can't really say anything to justify what's happened. You can't really put it into words about how horrific the stuff that they did is and the way they even killed them. I mean, it's just, honestly, the caves, it's just horrible. But the pagoda at the top's really nice. This place is very, very conflicted.
Cambodia was not afraid to show its recent history, but even though the caves held a dark story, outside showed so much beauty.
So we're about to head off for another workshop to teach some teenagers media skills. The skills that we are teaching them today will be high angle, low angle, sort of like angle shots and stuff. On the addition of teaching them genres as well.
The students also had a go at making a short film, using only their mobile phones.
Today's teaching was quite a challenge, I'm not gonna lie. Our first lesson was kind of It was kind of basic. We ended up playing, I believe it was the catch game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The kids seem to kind of enjoy it, but after a while they're trying to losing interest. But I think when it comes to planning that, I think since we're quite in a good team, I think when things start to pipe down a bit and they're losing interest, I think it's good to just what we've been doing, stick together and come up with solutions. We should all be fine.
But this wasn't the only challenge the group was facing. With the heat reaching over 40 degrees, it was starting to have an effect on some of us. But the thing that many were looking forward to, the one thing that made us excited about seeing and knowing it would take our breath away was the air-conditioned hotel.
What? This. I've never appreciated AC so much. This is like kisses from an angel. Yes. Oh.
Unfortunately, this wouldn't last long, as the group had an early start to see Angkor Wat, a true wonder of the world.
When you look at it, it's impossible to finish it in 30 years. We did it. You know, how did the king build this? The king brought sand from south of Siem Reap to fill in here. The place where we're standing made of sand is 6 meter deep, 1,500 meter by 1,300 meter made of sand. I calculated it, the king could use, I think, 100,000 carts a day to bring sand to fill in this. He's emperor, you know. That's why he could have all animals. For example, they gave elephant tax, horse tax, cow tax to the king. And the king didn't feed people. You know how many people did it take to build this? 300,000 people, like 30% of the population in Angkor. Because we had 1 million. And the king could not feed them all, but he did very well organized. I mean, he separated them to be 3 different groups. Group A, they builders. Group C, they fishermen. Group B, fishermen. Group C, they farmers. They fed each other back then, you know. But the king didn't pay for all the workers, all the laborers.
So what's the name of this temple?
The temple is called Bayon. You know, why do we call it Bayon? Because of the banyan tree. In 1916, French cleared this temple. When they finished clearing, then they told my ancestor to call this temple Banyan. And the word Banyan later became Bayon today. It's very Cambodian. And if you want to see everything, it takes like more than a day to walk around, to climb the temple. Lot of stairs and lots of walking. That's why most people like to do this only half day. Or sometimes only one temple, like now we're doing only one temple. And when you look at the temple over there, you see 4 faces. The first level, on the first level, they built 16 towers. Second level, 16 towers. Third level, 17 towers. So here we have 49 towers, plus with 5 gates, 54 towers. And the king told people to count 4 faces on each tower over there. And they represent King Jayavarman II. We had no photos back then. And the king wanted to leave some photo for us. That's why we can understand he's King Jayavarman.
tag! Oh! How did it feel working on the last day?
Very emotional. Yeah, it was such a surreal experience, and to come away with what we've got such a good experience. I miss it so much. I don't think I stopped crying.
So emotional. Yeah, very emotional, because we'd finally gotten to know the kids, they'd finally gotten to know us, and the whole day, I mean, most of the days it was emotional because it was just such like a bittersweet experience. But then on the last day it just kind of hit that like we weren't going to see each other again.
Their faces were just like, oh, to leave them was so sad, but I'm so glad we could take something to them. We could teach them new vocabulary and new games and things like that. It was just really, it was a sad day, but I'm so glad I went and I'm so glad I did it.
Has everyone got one?
Everyone was just sad to leave, but also happy that we'd kind of made such an impression on the kids.
We mainly did their favourite activities. We did a little bit of a pop quiz. I think they learned quite a bit. Well, I hope they did anyway. If not, well, they've always got their teachers anyway.
Checking if it's real. It is. There you go.
Do you think you were ready for this journey?
No, I don't think I was ready at all. Everything combined, the teaching, the heat, everything, it was just, all in all, just really challenging. But I think towards the end I kind of got over it. I was, just dealing with it. But no, it was really good. I was absolutely not ready. But looking back, I wouldn't have changed it for the world, so I'm glad I went.
I don't think any of us were truly ready. None of us really expected the challenges that were out there.
What did you take away from all of this?
Definitely a lot of gratitude, and kind of like it was just really inspiring to see how like nice everyone was out there. And even though they've been through so much, their kind of perspective on it, like they didn't really think about like revenge and stuff like that. They kind of were just more like just kind of accepting it, and I think that that's a really good kind of concept to take.
I took away from this experience, I think I was a bit more open. I talked to a lot of people, people from the village and of course within our group. So, and I've had more of a positive outlook on my overall day to day.
I've learnt to not take things for granted. I think that's something I did because of how limited the people of Cambodia are, especially the children. They only get 2 hours of education a day. So for us, we're really lucky, and yeah, I'm never going to take things for granted ever again because I saw it with my own eyes how limited those people are, and it's such a shame, but they don't know any different, so it's kind of a relief because they are happy. They're happy with what they got, so yeah.
Has everyone had a good day? Yeah! It's been a pleasure working with you all. I hope you've learnt a lot. This is sadly our last lesson, so we won't be coming here anymore, I'm sorry to say. But it's been lovely teaching you, and I hope you all have a lovely week.
Round of applause for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, very. I feel like, in a way, I felt like I matured because you've been put in a scenario where, you don't know what's going on. You don't know. Obviously, we had each other, but you don't know the children, you don't know the teachers, they don't speak English. So it was like such an eye-opener to know that it's just so different over there. So yeah, I just won't take it for granted.
There's just so many, the colours, the entirely different culture. It's all one thing watching it on like a YouTube video and then being there.
Overall, I saw so many true colours over this country, and the people are absolutely fantastic, and it blew me away.